We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Following the chapter from the electromagnetic theory, that is a review of vector analysis. From that I have taken the topics coordinate system, then we will discuss Cartesian coordinate system, what is unit vectors, cylindrical coordinate system. Then in cylindrical system we will see how can you convert if a function is given in Cartesian coordinate system into cylindrical coordinate system. Of course, during the transformation or conversion, we need to know about dot product, so that we will also discuss. Coming to Cartesian coordinate system, so first we will see why we need a coordinate system. Coordinate system is nothing but it gives a reference to locate a point, an object in the universe. Here I can show one more application of coordinate system is, we know that in case of the vector, if you want to represent vector, we need direction, angle and components. So all these things cannot be represented without having a coordinate system. So here the figure shows you the coordinate system. It has got x axis, y axis and z axis. So this x, y and z, these are called the axes of the coordinate system. They are perpendicular to each other. The lines which you can see along the x axis, y axis and z axis, how these lines are framed, how these lines are, where from they came, they are only, they came from the intersection of 3 surfaces which are planes. So we can see you, these are the surfaces which I have shown you. This is the xy surface, that is a plane. This is your zy plane. This is the xz plane. So at the intersection you can see at the xz plane and zy plane, this is the line. Similarly these 2 planes xz and xy, we have got at the intersection, this looks like a line. So here also this is the line. So they are perpendicular, all these 3 planes are perpendicular to each other. Similarly the axis x, y and z, they are also perpendicular to each other. This particular Cartesian coordinate system is also called right hand coordinate system. Why it is called the right hand coordinate system? That we will see. To know why it is called the right hand coordinate system, first out of these 3 directions, any 2 directions we can name. Like if it is named as x, this is the named y. The arrow mark shows that along the direction of the arrow, the value of x increases. Similarly along the direction of y, the value of y increases. So how to find out the z direction? That can be upward. Similarly it can be the upward, downward also. So which one should be the positive direction for z? So to know that, there is a very simple method. You can at the origin you can keep a right hand screw. Now bring x towards y along the smaller angle. This is the smaller angle. So as you bring x towards y along the smaller angle, the direction in which the right hand screw moves when you rotate it, that gives you the direction of z. That means when you are bringing x towards y, the screw will move anti-clockwise, so that it will move in the direction of z. So that will be the positive direction of z. So for this reason, this particular Cartesian coordinate system is also called right hand Cartesian coordinate system. Now here, if all these three axes, I will give a very small increment along the three directions, like x will be increased by x plus del x, y will be increased by del y, and z will be increased by del z. Then your x will become x plus del x, y will become y plus del y, and z will become z plus del z. So because of this increment in all these three directions, we will get a small volume will be generated. That you can see in the figure. This is, if you see this small volume, there are how many sides it will be? There will be 6 faces, and this is the front. Then similarly back. This is the right side, left side, top and bottom. So what will be the equation for this small volume which is generated by increasing or by this small increment happens in x, y and z? So mathematically this small volume can be represented as delta V is equal to del x, del y, del z. So here sometimes when you will go deeper into the subject, in some of the cases you will need to integrate three-dimensional integration, that is your volumetric integration, or in some cases you need, in some of the problems or in some of the derivations, we will go for the that is your surface area integration. So how to write down the equation? As here we have written del V is equal to del x, del y, del z. Similarly we can write down the expression for the areas also. So taking the there are 6 surfaces was generated there. If you take the top surface, it will be, the equation will be dx into du del y. Similarly the right side, referring to the last figure, the right side surface will be dz into dx. Then the front surface will be dy into dz. Similarly you can write down the equation for the other surfaces. Now we will discuss what is vector component. To explain vector component, again I have drawn the figure here. Let us discuss, let us consider a vector r which is originated from the origin in the direction of the point P. So your r vector is written as your OP. To represent the vector, we always use a arrowhead on the symbol for vector. So your r is given by the arrow or marked by the arrowhead, that is called the vector. So this is the universal way to represent the vectors. Now see, this vector OP, it can be represented by the vectorial addition of some other vectors. Here I can show you, if I project the vector on the xy plane, so this projection will be because of this OA component as well as because of the which component, that is AB component. So the vector R has got 3 components, one along the x direction, another along the y direction, this one, and this is the z direction. OA is along the x direction, AB is along the y direction, and BP is along the z direction. So as I said, the vector R can be represented as OA vector plus AB vector plus BP vector. Though here we have used the symbol addition, they are not simply algebraical addition, they are the vectorial addition. Now the magnitude of all these components along the 3 directions which we can see here depends upon the magnitude of the original vector, that is the vector R. So what we saw from the previous figure, the component vectors have directions constant, that is along x, y and z direction in Cartesian coordinate. So any vector can be represented by the help of component vectors. So what do you mean by component vectors? These are the vectors, these are the components of a vector along the 3 different directions x, y, z in Cartesian coordinate system. So for any vector r, I can write, again I have drawn the figure here, the same figure. R is equal to component along x plus component along y direction plus component along z direction. So that can be equal to, if I take the component along x, that is your fx, this is the magnitude, ax is the direction or ax is the direction. Similarly, along y direction, ay direction, fy is the magnitude of the component. Along az direction, fz is the magnitude of the component. So fx, fy and fz, these are all magnitude of component vectors. And what this ax, ay, az mean? They are the directions. So these ax, ay and az are also called unit vectors having magnitude 1, that is unity, and directions along the x, y, z axis. Similarly, we can take another example. Consider a vector f in Cartesian system. So in general, f can be written, we can write some component, some magnitude along x direction, fx ax plus fy ay plus fz. So if you take the vector f, you can find out the unit vector of f. That means the vector in the direction of f but magnitude 1. So for any vector we can find out the unit vector for that particular vector which has got magnitude 1 but direction along the given vector. A is the symbol normally used for unit vectors. So you can say, if you want to write down the unit vector of f, so it can be written as af, vectorial symbol, that is equal to f vector divided by its magnitude. So f vector is fx ax plus fy ay plus fz az divided by f magnitude, that is already we know x fx square plus fy square plus fz square root over. In some cases you can find I cap, j cap, k cap, this type of symbols are used instead of ax, ay, az, but all are having the same meanings. They are only for the symbols, but the meaning remains the same. Now we can go for, I will try to understand what do you mean by dot product of vectors. Dot product we know that is the multiplication. So for the vectors multiplication, there are two type of products or two type of multiplications. One is dot or scalar product, another is cross or vector product. How do you define dot product? Dot product is defined as the product of magnitudes of vectors with the cosine of the smaller angle exists between the vectors. So we can take an example for the explanation. That means if we have got two vectors like a and b graphically represented and the angle between them is theta, so we can find a vector dot b is equal to, we can read it as a dot product b, that is equal to magnitude of a into magnitude of b into cosine of the angle theta. Why here we should remember that we always take the smaller angle between the vectors, because there is one more angle, this one, the dotted line, that we are not taking, we are taking the smaller angle. So mathematically, if we can write a is equal to ax plus ay plus az. Similarly, the other vector b can be written bx plus by plus bz. Then we can write a dot b. It will be, you can see here, there is no ax, ay, az sign in the dot product. So simply dot product will give you a what you can say, a number, or that can be scalar. It can be found by multiplying ax bx plus ay by